Mush, mush.
Wiggity, 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 wiggity.
Hang on, G-Force is trying to do something.
Right.
I don't want it to. Whenever it does stuff while I'm doing stuff, oh no, it's installing something. Something bad happens. I guess give me a sec. What'd you get for eats?
Oh, I had a bagel and banana and some grapes.
It's like a breakfast of champions kind of deal.
I don't want to be fat? I mean, that's the honest truth.
I didn't mean it in a bad way.
No, it's just like... Sorry, everybody's been like, that's all you're having for breakfast? It's like, I don't want to be fat.
No, I get it. Everybody keeps bugging me about food.
But it's like, is that really all you're gonna eat? It's like, yeah, I don't want to be fat. What's really weird is I've gotten the most support from people who are like extreme level athletes, or like, I don't want to say professional because they're not, but like people who are in like very, very good shape have been like the most supportive and like helpful with my diet.
Well, that's good.
Like, I don't mean diet like in the sense like I'm on a diet, but like my diet in the sense of like what I'm eating.
Yeah.
It's like all the normal and fat people are like, come on, it's just a cupcake. I'm like, yeah, but
then it's this and this and this and this.
Right. I mean, yesterday breakfast was yesterday I let it go. So while I was out and about, I had a breakfast sandwich from the gas station, a taco from the place, the Santigos, where I get my mom's favorite green chili, and then stopped at a place called Jersey Mike's and tried their sandwiches because everybody said like, "Oh, Jersey Mike's is amazing. You've got to try it." And honestly, I think I told you, like, I thought it had way too much meat, which I guess a lot of people like, but I just felt like was overwhelming.
Like, that sounds like something I would like, jokes aside.
Right. No, yeah. No, it was good. I'm not complaining. It was a delicious sandwich. I like even amounts, and there was just like overwhelmingly meat, like a good, it was like an 8-inch sandwich sub, and it was like a good 2 or 3 inches of meat. I mean, to be fair, I also bought the super sub, which is like the one with like all the major pork-based meats on it.
You
know, like salami and pastrami and ham, and I don't remember what was on it, but it was like, if I could get that same sandwich but with like half as much meat, I think I would have liked it more. It wasn't a lot of calories though either. It was only, did they say 700? I mean, it's a lot of calories, but I mean, it's not a lot of calories for what it was. It was filling.
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell you in a second. I got that was not Club Supreme. Oh, the super sub. There it is. Big, bold, zesty, stacked with flavor. Ham, prosciutto, or prosciutti, capicola. That looks a lot more... They gave me a lot more meat than that picture shows. That's like what I was expecting I was going to get, and what I actually got was like humongous. Actually, all of their subs look really good. I don't even know what like half of these meats are, so it's just like, oh, okay.
You're making me hungry for the sandwich I pre-made for lunch.
Oof. Sorry. I'm thinking about lunch now, too, because it is only like 45 minutes away for me.
Damn your time zone.
Right. Ooh, new sandwich at Popeyes. What is it? Oh, bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Yeah. I mean, that's a good sandwich. Something I have this. Oh, and I ordered Zombieland Saga.
Sweet.
So that'll be coming in the mail probably next week. I looked at the stuff I really wanted and I went, you know what? All of this I can wait on, but I do really want to see Zombieland Saga, so I paid the $50 to not have to wait for it to go on sale.
Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party Podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. It's 2020, have you already failed your New Year's resolution yet?
God, I hate our president.
Right.
That's really all we need to say on the subject right now.
Right.
Because I don't need to get that angry. I'm too sick to get that angry.
Everybody's sick right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. It must just because it's the cold weather of the new year. Happy New Year, by the way.
Right. We made it to 2020. Something I never thought was going to happen.
Same here. I found my old Manera card. I have to get mine switched out this year.
Your what card?
Manera? My IUD.
Oh, yeah.
I keep forgetting I fucking have one.
Right.
Which is, I suppose, the beauty of it?
Right. That's good, I think.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Indeed.
Happy sick New Year and whatnot.
Right. I'm the only one who isn't, and I don't know how I managed it. Like, literally everyone else around me's got something going on.
Well, weren't you sick, like, right before it?
No, I haven't been sick for months. I was sick, like, in October.
Who am I thinking of?
Mish is still sick.
I'm thinking of Mish.
My grandfather's still trying to get over, like, his second cold in a month. Because my family are assholes and come over while they're sick. Poor fuck.
We really shouldn't do that.
Like, I've had this stress headache, and just on the off chance it's something viral, I've been staying away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 99.9% sure this headache is due to, like, stress and decompression at this point. But, like, just to be sure, I'm not going near my grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Because you're a good grandson.
Because I don't want to kill them.
Mm-hmm. Meow. Oh, you're both in here? I didn't know I had cats in the bedroom.
Meow.
I knew I had a dog because I put him under the blanket.
Poor Ringo, such a life he lives.
You know, he's such a jealous shit.
Is he?
Yes. I'm trying to pet a cat, and he's behind me trying to shove his head through my legs to get attention.
Oof. My dog's behind me on the couch snoring. I don't know if it's being picked up, but he's zonked out.
I don't hear any snoring.
I think
Nor can I see him.
No, yeah, he's not visible. He's way, way back.
Yeah.
I've got it, pretty black back there, so you can't see the huge pile of clothing sitting on my couches.
Oh. Message. Main screen turn on.
Right.
Oh, it's just Mish. Okay. It's nothing terribly important.
Kiss my ass, bitch.
I'm still waiting for that day where I get a message and it's hubby saying we've been fucking robbed.
Oh, at his work?
Yeah, I mean, they've been robbed while he's worked there, but not while he's been there.
Yeah, he's always home.
Yeah, or at least not fucking there.
Right.
And we've, in my mind, that's the blessing of all that.
Right.
I don't want them to be fucking robbed in the first place.
But if they're gonna be robbed, you hope he's not there when it happens.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the day, though, that happens. And my heart jumps out of my chest and I die.
Right.
Although I seem to have skipped all the heart conditions my family has.
Well, I'm sure his message will be, we've been robbed and I've killed a man. And that's how I killed Kiki.
Ow, my chest. I doubt that would happen. What?
It's... Ah! Oh my god, I don't even know if I can send this to you, but I'm gonna try.
Okay.
This is what I get. This is what I get for trying to... How do I go back?
Oh, she probably would have pissed me off too. What? Kiki. Phantom. Shithead. Come here. Meow meow. Here's my meow meows. No, don't step on the keyboard. Don't make out with the mic either.
Come. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about lady wrestling.
What the hell am I watching? The end.
What's it called?
I want to be the strongest in the world.
And what's it about?
So the premise is, and I shit you not, wow, when my screen is white, it looks like I'm getting nuked.
A little bit.
I have Gmail open, so it's a mostly white screen. It's just like, blah! Alright, that's less terrifying. This. So I'm not looking sideways. I can get it to pull.
Oops. No, don't.
So premise is first episode, lead singer of a very, very popular idol group, offers to do a promotional stunt where they go to a, professional ladies wrestling gym, like one of the stables, I guess is what I would call it.
Yeah.
And, train for a day. And then one of the other, like her second in command or whatever, like the backup girl, is like screwing around on the ropes and in the ring and stuff. And the one wrestler girl gets all pissed off and calls them mamsy pamsy, TD boppers, and they're not working a real job. They're just like, good for nothing slouches, blah, blah, blah. And challenges her to a match, basically. And so main lead singer girl takes her up on it, gets her ass whomped, and then proceeds to say, I'll face you again in 6 months, and then starts training as a professional wrestler. And it's basically her learning how to wrestle. Like, just the continuous training of trying to become a proficient wrestler. Because she's in pretty good physical shape because she's a singer dancer. So, like, it's not as if she's, like, a fat slouch. It's just she has no clue how to fight. And
Okay,
they're really...
To interject, in the promotion AEW, there is literally... I don't know if she's still champion because I haven't been watching wrestling.
Right.
But their women's champion is an idol. She's a literal Japanese idol.
Wow.
She's like 96 pounds.
Right.
But can wrestle decently well.
Right. Well, that's like one of the premises that comes up in the show is that somewhere around episode 6, I'm on 9 of 12 right now, and I would absolutely tell you, do not watch it. It's terrible. I mean, it is legitimately bad. It starts getting better about episode 6 because she spends like I'm not gonna even like hide it. Like, nobody's missing out on anything. The first like 5 episodes is just her having her ass handed to her by every wrestler in her stable. Because they all wrestle her at least once. And there's this whole thing where it's like, I'm trying to remember the name of the move, but it's something like the Boston Crab Lock or something. And it's they basically get her on her stomach, grab her by the legs, and then pull her legs over their shoulders. And the most disturbing thing about the entire show is that she cries a lot when she's in pain. Like, she screams, like, ah! And so, like, everything they do to her that, like, stretches her out, she's screaming the entire time.
Sounds very fetishy.
It is very fetishy. There's a lot of shots of her crotch while they're, like, doing the moves, like figure fours, and lariats, and pile drivers, and suplex. It's always, like, a shot of her, like, her groin area. I don't actually know... I don't know if I've evolved beyond it or what, but it's just like, this is unnecessary. It's always like a shot of her groin and her screaming in pain. So it's like, okay. So like the first half of the series, quote unquote, is her lead up to her grudge match, revenge match, whatever you want to call it, where she faces off against the lady again. In the meantime, they've become like friends and rivals. Like, it really, like, by the time they get back to having a match, like, they've been training together for half a year. So it's like, it's not really a I hate you, you don't know what you're talking about match. Like, it's more of a friendly rival match. I know nothing about wrestling. I'm watching this going like, she spent so much time training that the woman, like the original female wrestler that was like, you're a mamsy-pamsy nobody. All you have to do is sing and dance. And I'm going like, lady, go try doing her job for a day. Like, it's physically demanding in a different way. But like in that meantime, like they come to an understanding. So it just ends up being like kind of silly. It's like, oh, okay. And she has a whole streak of like, oh, she's lost 65 matches in a row because they keep like getting her in this like crab lock thing. I don't know what it was called. And she keeps tapping out like, it hurts too much, I give up after 45 seconds of them like pulling, like they're sitting on her back and pulling on her legs. And like eventually like the champion wrestler from their stable, like starts training her and like teaches her like how to start breaking out of stuff, because that's like the whole thing. Like they taught her how to fight, but no one ever taught her how to like break out of the holds and like the attacks and stuff. And then there's the whole thing about like now she's a professional wrestler and she has to pick her signature move. And there's this, like I was gonna say, she comes back to this idea that she realizes that she's way more acrobatic than all the other wrestlers in her stable. Like she can like do backflips and shit, and they can't even like handle it. And her move is called like the salt shaker ice cream or something. And it's literally a flying backflip into a kick. Like she backflips and kicks the person in the face. And it works surprisingly well on almost everybody because nobody knows how to counter it. And nobody's fast enough to counter it either. Because like when she does it, she moves pretty quickly. And I'm up to episode 9, and she just got challenged by a masked wrestler from a different stable to a something luchador match where she doesn't wear a mask, so if she loses, she has to retire. But if the luchador loses, they have to take their mask off and show their identity.
Yes, that's pretty common. Right.
So that's going to be episode 10, 11, 12, I think. Oh, and there's like last episode they added a high school girl who's a karate champion as a aspiring like rookie wrestler, because now main character is kind of a professional. Like she's winning matches and she's holding her own, so they had to bring in like a new rookie to be the rookie. It's not a good show. I now understand why they still had limited editions like 5-6 years after it came out, because oh my god, this show is terrible. Now, it's terrible in a different sense of the word from Goblin Slayer, which is the other thing I just finished watching. I haven't seen so many people raped in a TV show since Game of Thrones. And I'm not wrong, and you know it.
Apparently, Phantom agrees with you. I don't know if the microphone picked that up.
No, I heard it.
No, I'm just trying to... I didn't actually watch Game of Thrones. It was just on in the room.
Right.
I don't know, it just didn't click with me. Maybe it was all the rape.
I mean, like...
Not that things can't have rape, because rape is a fact of life, but...
Right. It's... Okay, so, gritty, realistic, medieval fantasy setting, right?
Yeah.
Goblins are considered vermin by high-level adventurers. But they are an entirely male race, which means they reproduce by stealing female, or basically kidnapping female humanoid species, and it doesn't matter what, raping them, getting them pregnant. Once they give birth, they kill them and eat them. Yeah.
Wouldn't you just keep them to keep producing?
Apparently there's something about they can only do it once. They never really get into details about it. But there's this whole thing about being raped continuously, like, until you give birth, and then being brutally butchered and eaten. And so
Okay.
there's this whole thing in the first episode where when Goblin Slayer doesn't show up initially, you see Priestess, which is like the other main character. She's a healer, and like he's good. He's good aligned, and he's actually almost lawful. It's kind of insane because everybody treats him like shit because all he does is hunt goblins. And everybody's like, who the hell does he think he is? A silver level, adventurer who all he does is hunt goblins. But and to put it in perspective, there's like 10 levels of adventurers starting at porcelain and making its way up to platinum. He's only 2 levels away from the top. Platinum level heroes are like world class. And you meet a set of them sometime in the show. They're hunting the demon lord or whatever, the king of all evil. But Goblin Slayer is hunting goblins. And it turns out that the goblins are the foot soldiers of the king of all evil, or the demon lord, or whatever the hell they call him. And so there's this whole thing about, well, he's taking care of the goblins. It turns out he's stemming the tide that gives the heroes of legend the time to find and defeat the Lord of all evil. They don't bring this up in the show, but I suddenly realized that all the missions he went on to exterminate goblins, what he was basically doing was preventing this like civilization from being overrun by goblin hordes.
Yeah.
And nobody catches it until the very end when the world-class heroes come to the town for a festival, and and the townsfolk are talking about him, defeating all the goblins, and they're like, to think, if this strange adventurer hadn't slayed all the goblins, this town wouldn't be here right now for the Festival of Light. Like the last, 40 seconds of the last episode. And it's just like, I made this like aha moment where I'm like, all the goblins he's been slaying, he's been stemming the tide of well, they've been away trying to find the Lord of all evil. He's been preventing civilization from being overrun by goblin foot soldiers. And he's like brutally effective too. I mean, like, they make jokes about him being like medieval Doom guy from fucking Doom, but he's practical to the very end. Like, there's a part where they're in the first episode where they're in the cave, and he's like, it's a cave. There's a limited amount of oxygen. So he throws a porcelain crock full of gasoline with a stopper on it at a group of goblins coming up towards the entrance to the cave, douses them in gasoline, and then throws his lit torch at them and the fireball basically blows them to the back of the cave. Blows the heroes out and the goblins in. And it's like one of the most brutal, realistic, horrifying, non-horror animes that I've ever watched.
Yes, I have heard that.
I would argue it is not a horror anime, but has strong overtones of realism, which makes it seem like horror. Because like people get injured, they bleed out, they get raped, they get beaten to mush, and it's really, it's like I hate to use the reference, but like it's very Doom-esque in that like enemies don't turn into smoke and poof away, like they get turned into a fine red paste if they get hit hard enough.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I enjoyed the shit out of the anime. I really liked the characters. It's interesting to see a like truly heroic character treated like absolute garbage by his peers only because he chooses to exclusively go after goblin threats. And they make fun of him initially, like he only takes missions that involve goblins, but then you like find out like he's taking missions that are very, very dangerous because it's not like one or two goblins, it's like hundreds of goblins, whole hordes, armies of goblins. And because he spent all this time learning how to fight the foot soldiers, he's very, very effective at it. He doesn't waste his energy on flourishes. He knows what kind of weapons to use. He's very, very pragmatic about his approaches. And he's more than capable of taking on much stronger monsters. And I made the statement, like, if he wasn't exclusively going after goblins, he would probably be a world-class hero because he uses very unorthodox methods to deal with very, very powerful enemies.
I don't know. It sounds like a show I would enjoy.
I think you would enjoy it. It's only real rapey for like the first maybe couple episodes, and then they've made their point, and they don't go into it again.
Trying to hit home that this is a dark and dirty world.
Right. They're trying to hit home that humanity underestimates goblins. They go, well, like he makes a reference in the first one. He goes, novice adventurers or greenhorn adventurers think, I ran a goblin out of my town. You ran a goblin out of your town. Like a horde of goblins in their nest is a whole nother, issue. And how people get even strong, high level heroes they underestimate just how powerful a army of goblins could really be. And that seems to be like
Cupcake? Did I lose internet? Shit, I might have lost internet. Cupcake
is the weird thing. Like he's treated like one, but
hang on, I lost you for a sec.
Oh.
I'm not sure where you were compared to where you were now.
Oh. Whoops.
I don't know if my internet dropped or something, or if Discord just skipped a bit.
Internet burp.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed it because he's treated like a loner by like all the other adventurers, but he lives on a farm, on a childhood friend's farm with her and her uncle. And like he's got friends, he's got family. He eventually, like within a couple episodes, builds an adventuring party. Well, he gets asked to join on a mission, and they become his adventuring party. The priestess is basically, he saves the priestess, like in the first episode. She becomes his traveling or his adventuring companion. And he's not a bad guy. He's not an asshole. He's not mean to anyone. Like, he's genuinely like a benevolent person. He's treated like a monster because he basically never takes his armor off. And there's a couple of times in the show where he has to get his armor repaired. He's walking around, it's like just in his like work clothes, and everybody's like, "Who is that handsome man?" And nobody even knows it's him, even though they've heard his voice like 1,000 times. It's always from inside of a full helm. And there's a whole line of thought in one of the episodes where they're making fun of him because he's wearing like basically almost full plate. Almost. He's got half plate. He's got like he's got big areas where he's got just like chainmail over leather. But he's got the cuirass, he's got pauldrons, he's got a helm, he's got greaves, he's got gauntlets. You know, he's missing armor like in between his greaves and his pauldrons. He's missing armor like he doesn't have I can't think of what it is, like the armor that goes around your upper legs. But he has full armored greave boots. He has fully armored gauntlets, like all the way down his hands. He's got a helmet, he's got pauldrons, he's got a cuirass, he's got the breastplate. Like, he's not missing a lot of armor. And they're like, "You're hunting goblins, you don't need that much armor." He's like, eh. He's like, you know, they're giving him shit because like they're sitting around the campfire and they're like, "Why do you never take your helmet off?" He's like, "Well, in case we get ambushed, they can't knock me out as easily." And everybody laughs at him, but it's like, he's got his helmet set up in such a way that he can literally like lift the faceplate to eat and drink and then just slides it back down when he's done. He's literally a human fighter and it's amazing. He's literally taken, what is it? It's Die Hard and Endurance so that he can sleep in his armor. And he literally will. If he has to, he'll just sleep in his armor. He doesn't care. It's hilarious because like they show him one time on the farm because like when he's home he takes it off. So like when they're at the farm with his friend, he takes the armor off. But he's still like, they see him walking around the farm. He's still got the helmet on. He's wearing like regular clothing, but he's got the helmet on. And it made me laugh so hard. And she's like, "Why are you still wearing the helmet?" He's like, "Well, in case I get ambushed by goblins while I'm checking the perimeter."
Well, all right.
He's pragmatically utilitarian, and it's just such a great show. And and the voice acting was great, and the writing was, you know, people give dub writers a lot of shit, but like the writing was excellent. I felt like it was well adapted, which is hard to do because people are super hardcore about that now. Like, how closely does it follow the original Japanese script?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty open to interpretation. Like, if a joke doesn't make sense in English, I'm more happy to let the writer make a related joke that makes more sense in English. And people get freaked out by that. They're like, "No, the joke was blah blah blah. You can't change it." I'm like, yeah, but that joke makes sense because it's like an onomatopoeia in Japanese. Like, but in English, it's like it didn't make any sense.
Right, because our words are different, obviously.
Our words are German and French in a trench coat.
Yeah. They had to do that a lot with Phoenix Wright.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of wordplay jokes there that just don't work in English. You gotta change, that's why they had to change a lot of character names or just a lot of jokes in general.
Right. That's like why the Japanese names for all of the attorneys are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Because like none of the jokes make any sense in English.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like what sticks out as like a joke that didn't work.
I don't remember them very well because I didn't play the games. I don't watch people play the games.
Right.
Because I'm when they originally came out, I didn't have anything that would play them.
Right.
So, because I'm usually a late adopter, Right. Adopter to consoles.
Right.
Like, I only recently got a Switch, which I still love to death.
Uh-huh.
Like, we recently got one of those reinforced cases for it.
Nice.
Just in case my dumbass drops it.
No, I can't blame you. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. What was I gonna say?
You love the Switch and you're a late adopter. And...
Hi, cat. Yeah.
What?
But yeah, there's just, with dubbing, it's a fine art.
Right.
It's more of an art than a science.
Right.
And art is interpretative.
Right.
It's more what's inferred and implied than anything else.
No, exactly.
Meow.
You tell him, cat.
What do you want, Phantom? I'm kind of pissed at you today.
What did?
Don't push it.
What did he do today? Knock something
yeah.
over? Oh God, what?
I don't know if I can pull the webcam far enough. Hang on, let me see. You see that my shelves have been disheveled?
Oh, he was up there.
Yeah, he knocked all my shit off because I didn't wake up in time this morning, I guess.
How dare you? How dare you?
I turned my alarm off yesterday, and I forgot to reset it.
Right.
And I did not wake up in time today, and he was very upset.
This one back here just cries and then licks your face until you get up and feed him.
I wish he would just jump on me or something, because he's a big cat. I would wake the fuck up.
Right. Oh, it's like this dog. I mean, he'll just stick his nose in your face if you don't wake up and feed him. It's happened to me.
But
I've been sitting here, I just feel as he lands on top of me. I'm like, oh shit.
He broke one of my fucking figurines.
Oh.
Well, not broke, because it's still in one piece.
Yeah, you can
His hat is broken.
Right.
Poor hat on my witch owl.
Knickknacks and bric-a-brac.
Help me feel alive.
Right.
Which we've talked about before.
I do that with anime, so I can't talk.
Yeah. We, together, we haven't finished it, but we've been watching Ice. Not
Right.
to be confused with Yuri on Ice, which is a much better anime.
Oh God, so much better.
But we've been watching Ice, which is about a world where only females have survived. Well, women have survived. 'Cause
Right.
I'm not sure if it's females.
Yeah, you hit
one
the one character on the head.
Might be trans, they haven't said.
But it's voiced by a guy, so it's like, yeah.
Maybe. My app says it's raining, but I'm looking out my window and it's not raining.
What's raining in our hearts, and that's all that really matters.
I wish it was raining in Australia.
I do too.
Yeah. I bet they do too.
What is that on my wall?
Anyway, about Ice.
Right.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
but
it's a bad.
It's almost to me at least, it's almost a good kind of terrible.
Right.
Where I want to watch it at least the once.
Right.
It's only 3 OVA episodes, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
It's not like a really long, drawn out, boring. I was like worried a little bit that it was going to be like boring and diplomatic, but no, it's a little more of a hack and slash.
Right.
With some diplomacy and bullshitting in between.
I know, it's like it's like one of those things where it's so bad, but like they knew it. They must have known it was bad because like the dubbing is very good because they're
really into it.
Right. Like they're throwing effort into a show that is forgettable for all other intents and purposes. I mean, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like without the English dubbing, Golden Boy isn't quite as good as it is in English, just because the dubbers put so much effort into the voice acting.
Yes. Have you ever seen Golden Boy dubbed?
I don't know.
I don't think I have.
You tell him, cat.
You want out? Is that it?
Meow.
Hang on.
Yeah, no problem. The dog's like, what the hell's going on? I just love the ears sticking up. Just like randomly like, what the hell's up? Yes, he does. It is in his nature as a creature.
Go on.
Alright.
Okay. Now there's only 2 shitheads in the bedroom. I am not counting myself in the shithead.
I didn't say anything.
I saw the look in your eye.
What? The dead fishy stare?
Fishy? I wonder if we'll get to finish that today.
I don't know.
I suppose it depends on if Mish is up for it. Because
Right.
we've been watching it with her.
Right, no, exactly.
And I don't want to be a dick and finish it without her.
Right. I'm giving her 2 weeks. After that, you and I are finishing it just because I want to be able to move on to something else.
Yeah. I've been sick, so I haven't been watching a lot of anime. It's terrible.
I totally feel you.
It was on, and I wasn't so much watching it as much as it was on, but Man in the High Castle is an Amazon Prime show
Oh, yeah?
about Nazis and alternative universes.
Crazy.
It's alright. It's not the best. I'm not, like, recommending it, but if you're into that kind of thing, watch
Right.
it. Like, it's got good actors in it. That's what I'll give it.
Right. I still have to watch the new season of Letterkenny.
You haven't watched it yet?
Season 8? No.
It's good.
That's what I'm told.
We haven't watched Little Kenny,
Wait, what's Little Kenny?
the animated series of when they were children.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes, that is a thing.
Crazy.
Because they have sold out, making that money.
Right. Well, now I guess Hulu took it over directly now. It's not even a Crave TV thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was you or someone else was telling me, like, Hulu just basically told Crave, here's a whole lot of money. We're taking over this TV series. And I was like, okay.
Yep. I like money.
I mean, I think Crave is still involved, but instead of it being like it's a Crave property that Hulu's licensing, it's like Hulu just like took over as like the executive producing committee or whatever.
Yeah, however that works. I
Right.
think Crave still technically is the production team.
Right. Like it's in Canada, it's still Crave, but like
Yeah.
it's become so big, and you know Hulu's Disney, so it was like, look, this is making money. We're injecting our money into it. And so they became like the big producer.
No, it had another great end.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, without going into it.
Right, I know. I'll get it watched here before I get off of vacation because it's what 6 20-minute episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take very long.
Highly recommend Letterkenny
Yeah.
to all of our 15 subscribers,
Right.
of which I think 6 of them are people I know,
Wow.
including you.
Well, excuse me, princess. Oh, I'm glad
No,
you
I-
said that. I wanted to see if my package made any progress today.
No, I appreciate it.
Okay,
I am behind on all the things.
Okay, so a package leaves Des Moines yesterday morning at 7:44 a.m. It still hasn't made it to St. Paul. I don't know how that's possible. What is going on with the Postal Service right now? It was supposed to be all the returns from Christmas.
Probably. I have never returned a Christmas present. Not that I've never returned anything in my life. That's probably impossible.
Right.
I've just never returned a Christmas present.
Right. Oh, those are pretty. It's coming myself.
Like, I have a sweater from my dad that has never fit. I think Phantom's trying to get back in now.
Crazy.
Fucking cat.
Oh, dude, I want a pair of those so bad.
Pair of what?
New Balance just released version 2 of the sneakers I wear, and I actually like the color scheme for red. I'll send you the... Wait, how do I... Can I don't want to zoom in. I want to take a picture of it. Dab you, Perry the Platypus. Can I... Oh, what is back? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there, that works. Damn these newfangled websites and all that madness. Okay. But this is the new version of the pair I already wear.
Ooh.
Right? I like that tan stripe on the back, or we could call it.
Nice and red.
Right.
A nice deep red.
Right, that's the color I like.
Deep and dark. Almost maroon.
Right. I don't know what color they're calling it, but... If I order it within 3 hours, I can have it by Friday, and they're only $77. I finished the coffee. Time to switch to...
Hi, Ghost.
Meow, meow. I just love those ears in the background. That's just awesome. He's out of focus, but just like he looked up and his...
Oh, he came out from under the blanket. Hi, Ringo.
What? Huh? Oh, okay, I'm coming. Hang on. Oh,
Hi, my Ringy Dingo. Oh.
oh yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's like, I'm not saying no to that. It's like crazy to say no to that.
My good boy.
Right?
My jealous boy, but my good boy.
You can barely see my dog's head in the background. He's right there.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's his face. He's sleeping. He's got his head on the arm of my sofa.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to whack your head against mine.
You most definitely meant to whack your head. Says, what's you talking?
I did not. Ozark Season 3 is coming out in March. Yay!
What is Ozark?
It is a... Who the fuck streams it? Netflix. Western TV show about... How to explain it? A guy who does money laundering for the mob.
Crazy.
And is just trying to keep his family together while doing so. It's actually quite good. It's called Ozarks because he has to move to the Ozarks in order to continue to do this.
Right.
And the Ozarks is a shithole swamp. Which isn't great.
Right.
And it's actually quite a good show. Highly recommend.
Can dig it.
Although I can't remember if I finished season 2 or not. I'll have to go back and look. On a only marginally related note, in that it's Western media, they're doing a live version of Young Frankenstein on ABC. So I guess I'm gonna look forward to that. I mean, there was a Broadway version, so I suppose it can work. I don't know if they're going to go the musical route or the non-musical route, because the Broadway version was a musical.
Speaking of Broadway, how about that Cats movie bombing hard, fast, and in a hurry?
How about them having to release a patch of it, huh?
Right.
That's apparently a thing we do now.
We patched the graphic.
Oops. Well, they had to release it early enough for awards.
Right.
So they didn't technically finish it.
Right.
So they had to patch in the finished version.
Right.
After the fact.
Right.
Hoping that people would go back and see it.
Right.
Which nobody is doing.
Because the movie is terrible. Like,
yeah.
Objectively, everyone...
Well, okay, so I love Cats. Because it's terrible. It is terrible. And I don't get why people don't remember that. Like, my generation grew up with the VHS version, and that was terrible.
Right.
Why would the movie version be any different? It is a terrible musical about cats wanting to die.
Is that what it's about? I've never seen Cats.
It's a mixture about cats introducing themselves.
Right.
Cats wanting to fuck.
Right.
And cats begging to die.
Jesus.
Begging for the right to die. That's what it's about. And apparently the movie can't decide what size the cats are in comparison to the environment. So it's a graphical clusterfuck.
Right.
And it added a new character for some fucking reason.
Because why not?
And it slightly changed one, so now he's a murderer instead of a cat burglar. I don't know why I made this gesture for cat burglar.
Cat burglar.
I don't know why I referenced that I made the gesture, as nobody else but you could see it.
But you wanted me to know why you were making strange gestures at the camera. I mean, there's no other explanation.
I mean, this is an audio podcast.
Right. We tried video once. I think it got eaten, if I remember correctly.
It didn't record right.
Oh, that's what it was.
Well, we'll try it again someday.
Yeah, there's no hurry.
Maybe for like the 200th episode if we go that far.
I mean, it's really... Now that we're doing it once a month, it's a lot farther away, but we were doing it twice a month. It was like, not that far away.
I don't know. Maybe if I ever get back into being productive, maybe we'll go back to that. I don't know. It depends on your work schedule. If your work schedule is hell.
It's not... It hasn't been as bad to do these since we started doing them like during the days when I'm off instead of like at night on a Saturday, since I work every weekend.
Yeah.
When I was in school, it was easy because it was like if I worked, I only worked like 4 hours every weekend day, so it was like, oh, yeah, whatever, I'll sleep and then get up and go to work at noon. Now as an adult with like a job that like I want to say I'm not a supervisor, but like a senior person, it's like you have to be there at 6:30 in the morning and you're going to be there for 10 hours. It's like, oh my God. I mean, we haven't done it that way in forever, but I remember like when I first got on this like screwed up schedule, it was like, we're doing the podcast. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be conscious to start. Like it's only 8 o'clock. Your time, my time, it's already 10.
Poor Cupcake, living in a different time zone than
right.
me.
Let's just be glad I'm not on the Eastern time zones.
Yeah. I'm being serenaded if you can't hear it.
No, I can't.
Okay, good. That means it's probably not being picked up. Phantom's like right outside my door. Just singing his heart out.
In, out, in, out, in, out.
No.
That's why I love this dog. He's just crashed out on the couch. He's too fat to get up here now, so he sits on the couch and sleeps all day.
Well, you guys let him eat like everything.
Well, excuse me for trying to treat my dog like I would treat anyone else in my family.
I mean, I feed Ringo snacks, but not everything.
And he's a healthy, happy dog for it.
Actually, I'm surprised Ringo's not fatter with how much we feed him.
This dog is a brick shithouse. That's hilarious. He's so fucking fat. He's a chonk.
Wednesday? Okay.
Actually, it's Blurns Day. How could you forget about Blurns Day?
Fuck Blurns Day.
Hey, it's one of the best jokes from Futurama, and I continue to reference it ad nauseum. Every time somebody asks me what day it is, I just look at them with like serious face, just like, Blurns Day. How could you not know that? And they're like, there's no such thing. I'm like, you've forgotten about Blurns Day? Are you alright? How does someone forget about Blurns Day? And the best part is I got my boss in on the joke, and so the last time somebody did, we actually like gaslit him for like a good 20 minutes that Blurns Day was a real thing, and they had just forgotten about it.
You are a horrible being.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a pure white angel. As Lahore just like... It's completely innocent. I mean, we eventually tell them that it's not a real thing, like 2-3 weeks after the fact. Oh my god. You black out every Blurns Day? You sad, sad little man.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to watch The Witcher.
Yes, watch The Witcher. Enjoy handsome something. What's his face? I feel like it's Henry Cavill or something like that, but I don't think that's right.
It's Henry something.
Starts with a C, like Carville or Coolidge. Ugh, setting in the wrong position. These are killing me.
Cavill. Or Cavill. However you say it.
Tomato.
Henry William Dalglish Cavill? He's English?
No.
Huh. Superman's English.
I'm not. I mean, people thought Hugh Laurie was American until they heard him, like, on talk shows.
Well, I knew Hugh Laurie wasn't English, but I had seen, what the fuck?
My moment of zen was finding out that, I can't think of his name right now. The guy who played Batman in Batman Begins is English. Was like, what? He's English?
Oh. Netflix gave Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop fucking shit a show?
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah?
Are they gonna show you how to insert the fucking vagina stones into yourself?
Oh, God.
There's a conspiracy theory that thinks that Mayor Pete Buttigieg is a secret agent.
I'm sure he is.
I don't... Okay. Out of terrible things people think about him, that's not bad. No, I will update you later! Okay, I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, I have returned.
Wiggity wiggity.
Football is on in the living room, but I have no idea who is playing.
Yeah, me either. I
could
know.
Probably just Google it.
Right. I wonder when the Vikings are playing the 49ers, if they've already done that. The 11th, so it'll be Saturday? Wait, what? That's Sunday. No, that's Saturday. Okay. Yeah, that's Saturday. Well, that's crazy.
What the fuck is she watching then? Maybe she's watching college ball.
Would college be playing on a Wednesday?
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't football. Maybe it was just about football.
Probably.
I'm just so happy that the 49ers are doing so well.
Yeah. We'll be playing them on Saturday, so we'll see.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about sports.
Right, yeah. I have no horse in that race. Doesn't really matter to me.
I mean, it would be neat if the Niners went to the Super Bowl, but other than that, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I used to, pick teams based on arbitrary factors, but I'm not even watching. I don't even get, half of the channels that they
play on.
The things playing on.
Right.
Because we don't pay for Hulu Live anymore.
Right. I'm trying to remember what service I was using to watch, because I don't have cable television anymore. Something I subscribed to gave me access to Good Eats legally, and I can't remember how the hell I found it. It wasn't Amazon Prime. I don't remember what the hell it was that I've subscribed to. It was like, oh yeah, you can watch Food Network shows. I'm like, really? That did it? I don't remember what it was.
Was it like Pluto TV?
No, it was a big service. I just don't remember which one.
Sling?
I think, don't laugh, I think it might have been one of my credit cards.
Okay.
They have an agreement, apparently, for streaming on something. I was like, oh, I could use this esoteric streaming service because I have, a Citibank Diamond card.
That doesn't surprise me. Our credit card gives us benefits to certain things.
The one that really blew my mind was I got denied a lower price on something I bought from Right Stuff one time. They're like, yeah, no, you bought it. Sorry that we had a sale a day after you bought it, but yep, tough shit. I'm like, And I actually called the number on the back of my Citibank card. I was like, I'm just kind of curious. Do you have any price matching? And the guy's like, yes, why? I'm like, well, something I bought yesterday is on sale today on this website that I bought it from the same place. And the guy's like, oh, he's like, what's the website? So I gave him the address. He looks it up. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I'm going to refund you the difference.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, okay. I was just curious. He's like, no. He's like, I can see it right here. He's like, it's like $15 cheaper. He's like, we're just going to refund you the difference. I'm like, you can do that? He's like, oh, I can do whatever I want. I'm like, okay then. Proof positive it's always good to be polite to people on the other side of the phone.
Hmm?
I had that once with something too, where it was like I was being very polite with a guy about one of my Samsung monitors, and I was like, I know it's out of warranty. I'm like, but what, what would it cost to get it repaired? And the guy's like, well, our records indicate that you've bought 5 monitors from us, a new monitor every 2 or 3 years. He's like, I'm gonna send you a box with a self-addressed label. Or he's like, I'm gonna send you a new one with a self-addressed label. Take the new one, send me your old one, and if we get your old one back and it's actually defective, I'll just refund you the money. It'll cost you nothing.
Nice.
And so it was a newer version of a monitor I already had, but the driver that makes the screen turn on, not the backlights, but the actual little board that makes it display an image, had fried just from God knows what. I wasn't I hadn't overloaded it or like, covered it or anything. It was just like, it just stopped. And the guy's like, yeah, it's like, nope. He's like, I'm gonna send you the new version. Take it, put the old one in, put the label on, take it to FedEx. And we'll take it back. And if it's defective, you're out nothing. If it isn't defective, you needed a new monitor anyway. I'm like, damn. And they did. Like, I got it like 3 days later, and like a day after that, they canceled the charge. They're like, nope, you're good, refund. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. Because that was easy. Like, that was back when like a monitor was like $600. And that's why I buy exclusively Samsung products. Even though there are probably better brands out there, they don't have that kind of customer care.
There are only a couple things that we buy specifically a certain brand. Most things we buy based on price. But that's because of our finances.
Right. Like,
I only buy NVIDIA video cards and Wacom tablets and...
Right. But at a certain point, if you're using something enough, you're going to buy a big name or a specialty name just because you're getting that much. I mean, Logitech wireless mechanical keyboard. I realize that mechanical and wireless are not supposed to be synonymous, but
yeah.
I wanted a wireless keyboard, but I wanted a mechanical keyboard because mechanical keyboards hold up a whole lot longer than membrane board. Which is why I have a $200 wireless mechanical board.
We tend to buy Logitech. Not always, but...
Right. Well, Logitech was the only one doing it.
Sometimes when I need a replacement, we buy what we find at thrift stores.
Right.
Like, I have a Microsoft keyboard, but it's... Can you see it? I can't.
It's an ergonomic one. Those are nice.
Yeah. We found it. It was nice. It's dirty as fuck right now because I'm lazy.
Right.
But,
well, I mean, mine's not any better.
But yeah, it's clunky. Keys are best for me.
Right.
Which is why I like mechanical. But I've got a Logitech mouse because I prefer them.
Same. It's a Marathon mouse, but it's the M2. I had the Marathon before this. This is the M2. And I like the little mice, which is hard to find in this style.
I don't like the little mice. I've got small hands, but I don't like the little mice.
Right. I don't like their gaming mice because most of them are gigantic.
I don't like their gaming mice either
right.
because they're expensive. But
well, if money wasn't an option, you probably wouldn't care as much. This goes into the same line my boss and I were talking about, why I'm spending, like $80 to $100 on walking shoes. It's like, well, because I walk all day, every day. So I need comfortable shoes. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be spending $80 on a pair of sneakers. And I'm replacing them once a year. It's not like I have 10 pairs. I retire a pair as the bottoms wear out.
My shoes need to be comfortable and cute.
Well, they don't have to be cute. You want them to be cute.
Yes. Well, my idea of cute is very simplistic.
Right.
Like, where the fuck are my shoes? What did you do with my shoes, Cat?
Nom nom, delicious.
I mean, there's my slippers.
Right.
Which are unicorns.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
With your pug shoes. There was a pug's fleece blanket that I almost bought for you.
Lols. These aren't pugs. These are French bulldogs. There's a difference.
Well, they look like pugs from here, but... There we go. Now they're focused.
Yeah, those are French bulldogs. My mom bought them because they're bulldogs. Because I'm a weirdo about that. I'm actually not I like pugs, bulldogs, boxers. Brachiated dogs in general I enjoy. I mean, my heart will always be with Old English, but I realize that that's a horribly misbred species, so I would never actually want to own one.
if you found one in a shelter, probably.
Yeah, they don't go to shelters, they go to sanctuaries.
Hmm.
I mean, you're talking about dogs that easily go for a couple grand a piece if they're actual purebred animals.
Yeah.
They don't like when you give a bulldog up, it's 99% of the time if it ends up in a shelter, within a week it's on its way to a sanctuary. Because they're high value commodity, quote unquote. I was on this conversation because somebody put up a picture on our bulldogs of their bulldog sleeping on top of their 2 French bulldogs. And somebody's like, that's a whole lot of money in that picture. And I was like, that's a whole lot of happiness in that picture. Proof positive that in some cases, money can buy you happiness in a small to medium-sized snorty package.
Snorty.
Oh, because they all have breathing problems. They're all like,
Yeah. Well, their faces are smashed up.
right.
Oh, I also gotta watch The Mandalorian. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but...
The Mandalorian.
Which reminds me that I saw Star Wars.
Was
Which
it?
is not that bad of a film.
Right. Well, then they bring back What's-His-Face to direct, because the last one was such a...
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Or at least I was told it was such a train wreck that they wanted to try to get it back on track for the last one.
Mm-hmm. The last one before it wasn't that bad either. I mean, they all have their problems. I'm pissed about, like, I have a lot of the issues that a lot of people have, but I still enjoyed watching it. Like, I laughed at certain parts, I said aw at certain parts. Right. I still enjoyed watching it while still being pissed at certain parts. Right. It was a film. Right. Which I think a lot of people are missing the point of. It was still a film. They did what they could. Right. With their evil overlords in mind. Right. What had I said last time about it? Because I had sort of already talked to you about this, but... Right. I'm sorry I haven't seen it yet. I probably could have went and saw it this week. I just was like, eh. Yeah. Without getting too spoilery, I mean... Don't worry about it. If you gotta spoil it, go for it. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. No, like, if you get to just, like, if you generalize the story, it fits. Right. If you get to the nitty-gritty of the story, it kind of doesn't. It's got, like, a little bit of a racist segment to it. It misplaces a character. Rose gets kind of written out for no fucking reason. Oh no, there was a reason as far as I heard corporately. It's just not in the storyline made any reason. Yeah, it doesn't make sense plot-wise. She could have easily gone along. Meta-wise, it was corporate Disney trying to, like I've always said, there's no racism involved. It's all about profit. They want as much money as they can get. I understand why they did it, and probably to the grace of the actress. If she had gone along, I wonder if the character had been written into the story, I wonder if she would have gotten more death threats. Right. I wonder if it would have been worse for her. She still should have, in my opinion, been part of the plot. Right. Because she had been such a prominent character in the previous film. It looks weird. It feels weird. Right. She should have been at least in, like, the first half. Right. But she's not. So it's weird. And it feels a little anti-feminist. Because it takes away another female character. Because it's a bit of a boys' club. Even though Rey's the main character. Right. What are you doing, Ghost? You want out? Because you want it in. Or do you just want attention? These cats. I say they did the best they could with what they had of Carrie Fisher. Right. And everything else that happens... Oh well. Pretty much. Yeah. Now we can move now we can move on to other things. I still say it's a good ending.
Yeah. I mean, I still think the best ending was the third movie, but what do I know? I wasn't even alive when it came out, so.
Mm.
See, my biggest problem with the movies is they have become so wholly corporatized or commercialized that, like, they've lost any sense of storyline. Like when they did the prequels, the problem that killed it for me was they spent so much time fleshing out the Jedis between 2 and 3 with Clone Wars that by the time we got to Anakin obviously falling to the dark side, it just felt really forced.
If you watch, here's the problem with the franchise in general. You have to consume so much non-movie stuff.
Right.
For it to work.
Right.
If you watch the TV shows,
right,
it feels smoother.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was watching the Clone Wars cartoon, and when we got to episode 3 and he falls to the dark side, it's like, you fucking moron, you had to have seen this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing, it's like, Obi-Wan, you were in it with Padme? I knew it! You were in it together! It's like, what are you talking about? What in your head made you think that that's what's happening here? Your wife and mentor / like buddy cop came together because you just murdered an entire classroom of children. They're wondering what caused you to go off the deep end. They're not here to stop you. They're here to try to figure out what the hell's going on in your head. And to me, that was like you were always against me. No one's against you, Anakin. They came together because they're your friends. And they're worried about you. You just murdered 24 children in cold blood.
I think Ghost agrees with you.
I mean, I can't think of another good example in another movie where I just went where to me the extended universe ruined like the character's arc.
Yeah.
But like I've run into other things where it's like you spend so much time like characterizing that player that by the time we got to the obvious, like we knew what was going to happen because it's already been preordained in the other storylines. By the time we got there, it didn't make any sense. Like, my biggest problem is that Anakin Skywalker in the extended universe, like, before he falls, is actually a pretty even-keel guy. Like, he's not... Like, in the movies, they play him as this fucking hothead. But in the TV shows and stuff, he's pretty even-keel. Like, he is prone to emotional outbursts, but it's not as bad as it is in the movies. Like, in the movies, he never really recovers from killing all of those sand people. Like, that pretty much just sets him down the dark side. He's just slowly sliding into the darkness. But, like,
yeah,
in the TV show, he does recover from that. He's pretty even keel. Like, it doesn't, like, forever, foreshadow his life. And you always said that line, like, once you take a step to the dark side, forever will it, control your path. Like, that's really what happens to him. Like, it taints him, and he just slowly, it grows in him. But, like, in the TV show, he's still pretty even keel about it. Like, he grows from it. Like, I need to have better control over my emotions. And he talks about it. Like, in the TV shows and the books and stuff, he talks about, like, trying to get a better rein on his emotions. Like, he realizes that was a mistake. He should, like, a terrible mistake, but something he could grow from. Like, in the movies, he's like, they had it coming. They killed my mother. I don't know. I just like, and it's like, how they wrote, like Luke in some of the newer movies. Just like this is a dude that forswore killing his own father to try to make a point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now there's going to be a comic
Of course there is.
of where we see young Ben Solo
Of course.
become Kylo Ren, of
Right.
course. And only a certain amount of people are going to consume that.
People who are hardcore fans.
Not me,
I'm just
because that's going to require money I don't have.
right. Well, I mean, there's always, har. But I mean, it's one of those deals. It's like,
If it can't make sense in your main franchise, then you
I'm just
shouldn't bother with it.
I'm just done with a lot of big fantasy franchises. It just doesn't do it for me anymore.
I'm not gonna watch the new Lord of the Rings TV series, but that's mostly because I don't give a shit about Lord of the Rings. I never liked it in the first place. Which makes me a heathen, I know.
No, okay, so I enjoyed the original Lord of the Rings movies for what they were. They were a take on epic fantasy, and they worked, and they were great, but I only ever wanted to see them once. That's way too much crap to rewatch, and I'm not that enthralled by the world. I'm
talking about, the book. I don't like the book.
Oh, you don't like the book?
I do not like his writing style.
It's very dry. It's because he's a history professor.
Yeah. I love to read. I don't read as much as I used to these days because of mental health reasons. But it's just, maybe I should retry because I tried when I was younger.
Right.
But I enjoyed The Hobbit when I was younger.
Well,
but that's geared towards younger children.
You also have to remember The Hobbit was written before World War II. Lord of the Rings was written after. And so Lord of the Rings is very heavily stained by his experiences of being in the battlefields of World War II.
I have read other books like that, though. It's more, again, his style. It's not so much the plot.
Right.
Because I don't hate the movies. They're dry as well.
Oh, God, the movies are so dry.
But that's because the content is dry.
Right.
It's just the style of writing is very... That's why I don't like... Game of Thrones either, because that's also very dry.
Martin.
Yeah.
Right.
George R.R. Martin.
Oh, yeah.
His work is very dry as well, so I tried to read the first book. I couldn't get past the prologue, so I was like, fuck it, no. I don't
enjoy fantasy. I enjoy the setting of fantasy, but a lot of books just don't.
I love fantasy. There are just certain writers that I don't jive with.
Right.
And there are a lot of writers who suck that I just edit as I read. But there are just some I can't. And sadly, a lot of them are big names. Was
it Robert Jordan?
No. Why am I brain frying
what did they write?
Right now? Horror.
Mary Shelley?
No. It's a dude.
Wrote It and that kind of thing, Cujo?
Yes.
I can't think of his name either. I know who you're talking about. Stephen King.
Yes. I do enjoy, not all, because some of it's very campy. I do enjoy camp, but some camp is just bad. I do enjoy interpretations of his work.
Right.
But I don't enjoy reading his work, which is hilarious because Grieve loves his work. We're best friends, but we have very different reading styles.
Wait, who are you best friends with?
Sue.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, it's the things I enjoy watching versus the things like all my friends enjoy watching. Like, I have very specific tastes in what I want to watch, and like a lot of it is into two basic camps: fun, cute and fun, a la like K-On! Or like was it Euro Camp, whatever, like that. I haven't seen it yet, but just like the aesthetic of it appeals to me without ever even seeing it. I love Girls and Panzer. And Girls and Panzer combine my two favorites, which is cute fun things. People doing stuff, having fun. Everybody has a laugh. I enjoy that. I also enjoy scientific and informative, which is why like Good Eats, how it's made, how they do it, that kind of thing, like really appeals to me. And like the less I know about the people involved, the happier I'll be, because the less attached to the persona and views of the people making it, generally the better off I end up being. I don't like finding out what assholes academics are. Like, I know they are, but it was like Carl Sagan did the original one, and then they got I can't think of his name, the black astronomer.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, great astronomer, should shut the hell up about every other subject that he knows nothing about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to admit I don't know things about subjects. I'll be like, I don't know anything about that, but I could look into it. He'll be like, no, it's obviously this way. And it's like, yeah, no, Neil, it's not. That's not the consensus in the scientific community. Like, I'm not begrudging people for being academics. Like, I'm an academic at heart. But, like, I'll admit, like, there are subjects I know nothing about, and I just, like, back away, like, when the experts are talking. But then there's stuff where it's like, it's just, the less personalities involved, like, the better off the show ends up being for me. Like, I appreciate that about Good Eats, because Elton Brown kind of keeps his personal baggage out of the teaching.
Oh man, he's
got some pretty strong views on stuff.
No, he's on Worst Cooks in America this season.
Oh wow.
I am so looking forward to that. Apparently that scarred him for life. Yeah. Wow. Like, trembling in the corner kind of scarred him for life.
Worst Cooks in America, huh?
Yeah, where they got to teach people who are shit at cooking.
Oh yeah, he was talking about this. He does a podcast once a week from like a hotel room, and I was watching it, and he was talking about this, and he was like, I never want to think about that show again. He's like, it was that bad. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be doing it again.
Oh, and the thing is, like, he's not particularly like what you would call a chef. His background is in TV. It's like the whole crew behind him that makes the actual technical part of it work, like the cooking.
Well, I think you could call him a teacher at least.
So he's a teacher. What I'm saying is like the other lady that's on it is like an actual like legitimate like owns a restaurant. Chef. Yeah, chef.
Yeah, but they've also had like Rachel Ray on there, who's not a chef.
Right.
She's a former waitress.
Right. What I'm saying is, Elton Brown's background is in TV production.
Yeah.
It's the team. It's the team of culinary experts that make him look smart. Not that he isn't smart, but like knowledgeable. And he doesn't hide it. Like, he talks about it all the time. He's like, I am not an expert in this. He's like, I've learned a lot in my life. He's like, but I have lots of very, very educated, very experienced friends that when I don't know the answer to the question, I could ask people who have spent literal decades, studying these things. Cultural anthropologists, culinary experts, nutritionists. He's like, when I'm working on Food Network, all of these very, very experienced, very knowledgeable chefs who may have run into this before, and they have views, and maybe the view isn't 100% of what I want, but it gets me on the right track, which is part of the reason why I like him as a person, because he talks about, like, if he doesn't know the answer, he's not afraid to ask other people for advice. And maybe he doesn't take all of the advice, but he puts it all together by asking lots of different, very educated people questions, or the same question. He gets a amalgamated mosaic answer that is the overall correct or accurate answer to the question. That's my thought style. It's like, if I don't know the answer, if I look around, I can eventually put together the answer that is most correct. Maybe not the answer, but a very correct answer. Yeah, that looks like that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
When does that premiere?
I think it already has.
Oh, okay. It makes me want to get Food Channel just to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
If I could buy channels a la carte, I would basically just say, give me everything on the Discovery Network.
Dude, if I could do that, I would. Because that's mostly what me and my mom watch.
I love Discovery Network. Not the original Discovery Channel. That's crap now. But like the periphery channels, military, Nat Geo, science, even History 2, like actual Discovery, actual Learning Channel, and fuck it.
No, if we could get like the HGTV package or something like
that.
Right,
yeah.
I mean, we can watch that stuff through Hulu.
Right.
But if we could get it like live.
Right. Well, I mostly want it live just for the ability to watch or stream new episodes of stuff that's coming out. Like, obviously, give it 6 months. You can pirate it just about anywhere. I know piracy is bad, but it's a reality. Like, if they would, like, hey, look, if they told me, hey, $15 a month, you get every Discovery Network, thing available for streaming. Okay, here's my card.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I would probably share my login information with a couple people. But,
I mean, to be honest, I do that anyway.
Oh, you can bet your ass that if we had cable TV, I would definitely be sharing my login info with you.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Because it's like, if it wasn't stupid expensive, I would actually consider putting cable television back on our plan. But like, it takes my $60 a month, cable internet plan and makes it like $200 a month.
Dude, that's why we had to get rid of Hulu Live. They just kept making it more and more expensive.
Right. When you can make it cheap enough that it's like, it's not a splurge. It's what am I trying to say? It's a impulse. Like, I only buy a couple things a month from Amazon, but the free fast Prime shipping is enough that I'll pay the $11 a month, or what is it, like $110 a year?
Mm-hmm. And well, only like one person was actually using the live feature, so.
Right.
Like, I mean, now there's shows I can't watch because they were only accessed through live.
Right.
But I can wait until they're bingeable.
Right.
It's just, now you have to wait.
Right.
It's just, now I have to change the way I consume media.
Right. And like, I have no real complaints because I have the giant pile. So I mean, there's always stuff for me to be watching.
Mm-hmm. I've got Crunchyroll.
Right.
I've got Hulu. I have access to an Amazon Prime.
Right. I mean, it's almost worse because in the old days you could only get like, I sometimes think about this, like, how did I watch all these shows and enjoy them? Like, oh right, I didn't have like the giant, I have like a physical pile, but like, we didn't have Crunchyroll, we didn't have High Dive from Sentai.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just talking anime. Like, forget about Netflix and Hulu and all the other stuff for American television. Like, just cartoons. It's, I mean, now Warner Brothers is coming out with something for watching like all of their animated stuff, Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And Disney's got, what is it, Disney Live or Disney Go?
Disney
or
Plus.
Disney Plus, thank you. Like,
which we have because it was cheap with Hulu.
right. Well, because they own Hulu. They have like a controlling
Yeah.
stake in Hulu. So like, hey, if you got Hulu, was it like $10? Like
$7.
Okay, yeah, $7 more. Here, you can have Disney. It's like, okay,
Which is now the only place you can watch all of Simpsons.
right? Because Fox got bought out by Disney.
Yep. Which, guess what goes on our TV when we're bored?
Simpsons,
Yep.
right?
That or Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. Casio Parrot the Platypus!
Such a good show that went on for so long.
I can't think of the voice actor's name, but the guy who plays Doofenshmirtz is amazing. He's completely insane.
Like, actually insane?
They had him at Comic-Con, like, for a panel. He's like one of the guys who's involved with the writing, too. Like, he's not just the voice actor, he's one of the writers.
Ah.
Yeah, he's... Oh, boy. He don't need drugs. He's just that zany. It's very Robin Williams-esque. Like, he's got a lot of energy. God, I miss Robin Williams. Every time people would have him, they'd interview him, it was just always a shit show.
Always up. Oh. Where's the drugs I want? There's the drugs I want.
That's a scary thought. Like, which one of these 10 bottles is the one I need?
1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, there's like 10 bottles in there. These are my, like, down here, these are my, like, as needed drugs, and then over there are my
all your daily
drugs.
prescriptions. Yeah. Good times. Good times. I gotta call the groomer at some point today and make an appointment for the dog to get a bath.
I gotta clip the dog's nails.
This one's starting to smell like a garbage dump, so my mom was like, hey, call today. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Oh. Just a fallen cat.
He got bored of the window.
Wiggity.
Meow.
Meow? What? I'm coming, what? I love it. Cat just comes over like, what?
My snuggle place.
Agreed. Agreed.
Oh, I'm glad I went back to sleep for a little bit.
I bet you are.
I feel a little bit better. Except for the fact that I keep coughing, I don't feel nauseous today.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know why I barfed twice yesterday.
Ooh.
Like, we're sitting there watching The Simpsons because neither of us feel good and we're just bored. And it's the one where Homer's trying to get on disability. And I'm not even feeling bad yet. And he needs to gain like 2 extra pounds before he gets into work, and they're all out of food. So Maggie hands him Play-Doh.
Oh boy.
And for some reason, my stomach's like, nope, that's disgusting. We're gonna vomit. And then later in the evening, I couldn't keep dinner down. Oh, there's a knock. Yeah?
Kiki had to run off somewhere, so the recording got cut short. Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki and Cupcake. Did you enjoy the first episode of the new year? I hope you did. Farewell, my fellow internet beings, and good luck.
So, bye, Cupcake.
See ya.